How is it going to run into my WWE Extreme Rules 2019 pay-per-view predictions? Of course, Extreme Rules takes place live on the WWE Network as well as pay-per-view tomorrow night. And overall, I gotta say, going to Extreme Rules, I'm not really too sure how I feel because on one hand, I don't really necessarily care for the show, but at the same time, there are some matches that do pique my interest. I do think the card for this show actually is pretty solid for the most part, but just WWE's inconsistencies for this show, like the build, has just been, I don't know, it's hard to get excited when like Raw is great one week and then SmackDown Live is terrible, but then the next week Raw is terrible and SmackDown Live is great. It's like they're flip-flopping shows that like they garner interest for the each brand's matches. So it's kind of really hard for me to sit here and say how I feel about the show because like I said, on one hand I don't really care for it, but there are some matches that do pique my interest that make you do want to tune in for the show. So I don't know, I'm going this show open-minded. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad card at all. I actually do think there are some solid matches. Like I said, I do pique my interest. So Extreme Rules, I don't think it'll be a bad pay-per-view. It's just WWE's had so many shows, it feels like, lately. Just, with Super Showdown, then, Stomping Grounds, now Extreme Rules, and of course we have SummerSlam on the corner. I just feel like there's too much going on, and it's just too much to consume at once. So it's really hard to get excited when there's like a show every other week, it seems like. So Extreme Rules, I'm going to it open-minded, but I do think this will be a good show. We do have a lot of rematches from like Stomping Grounds or just different variations of the similar match we've seen before. But with that being said, I do think it's still a solid card. There is enough for me to pique my interest. So I'm not going to complain about it. Extreme Rules should be a good show. I do think it will be a good show. So yeah, that is my rundown for my thoughts going into pay-per-view. Of course, we do have 10 matches on this show, which why 10, I don't know. No matches are announced for the kickoff show, which I'm pretty sure a match or two will be bumped onto it, so I'm not really too worried about it. But for a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules, I know last year is a perfect example of it, but for a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules, this show is anything but extreme. There's only, I think, 2 matches that actually have like an extreme stipulation to it, but besides that, it's all just regular matches, which I just don't understand. They should just scrap the whole Extreme Rules thing. In my opinion, there's really no need for the pay-per-view. They don't utilize stipulation, so what's the point of having it? I don't think anyone tunes in to Extreme Rules because of the name at this point. I don't understand 10 years ago when they introduced it. Like, pay-per-views like Hell in a Cell, TLC, Extreme Rules, Money in the Bank. The name alone attracts people to it, but this Extreme Rules really isn't one of those situations anymore. I don't think anyone is attracted by this pay-per-view, so they just need to do away with it, but this is what it is. On the card, like I said, we have 10 matches on it. Braun Strowman taking on Bobby Lashley in a last man standing match. I know that awesome stage thing a couple weeks ago on Raw. Hopefully this match, kind of stays the same with that in terms of just them beating the shit out of each other. That's all I'm asking for this match. Hopefully it's not too long. Honestly, this should be on the shorter ends of last man standing matches. There's really no need for this match to go 15, 20. Around 10 minutes is the time this match should go, honestly. But Revival taking on the Usos for the Raw Tag Team Championships. 2 of the best tag teams in WWE. You'd think I'd be excited for it, but there really is no hype behind it. Really, I feel like I've seen the Revival and Usos so many times, even though they've probably only had a handful of matches during their entire WWE run. It just feels like the Usos and Revival, I've seen those 2 teams inside some kind of match so many times, I just don't really care to see it. So Revival Usos should be good. I just don't have any interest for it. Drew Gulak defends the Cruiserweight Championship against Tony Nese. To me, this should have a stipulation to it. I think this would have been a great Philadelphia street fight for these 2. But of course, I'll go out there and have a great wrestling match for the Cruiserweight Championship. This will probably be on the kickoff show. So yeah, looking forward to that one for sure. Bayley defending her SmackDown Women's Championship in a 2-on-1 handicap match against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Of course, if Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross win, they become co-SmackDown Women's Champions. We saw Alexa Bliss and Bayley at Stomping Grounds, which I actually like that match more than others, but I just don't care to see a 2-on-1 handicap match. Like I said, it's pretty much, rinse and repeat. That's WWE, rinse, repeat. That's the story they're booking. We do have Aleister Black. Of course, he has his open challenge as accepted by Cesaro. I'm hoping these 2 actually have an actual match, because if these 2 have an actual match, these 2 will actually steal the show. But knowing WWE, they'll probably have Aleister Black knock out Cesaro in like 10 seconds and squash him. So that's what I'm hoping doesn't happen. Like I said, I think these 2 can go out there and definitely have an amazing match tonight without a doubt. But it just depends if WWE allows them. So interesting to see how it goes out, but honestly, this is probably the match I'm looking forward to the absolute most on the show. Just hopefully it delivers and it's not like a squash. The SmackDown Tag Team Championships being defended in a triple threat match. Dana Bryan and Rowan taking on the New Day and Heavy Machinery. This should be a good one. Dana Bryan, Rowan, and Heavy Machinery had a great match. Stomping Grounds, add New Day to the mix. It's just me even better. So nothing about that. And then of course we have Ricochet defending the United States Championship against AJ Styles, a match I think everyone's looking forward to as well. These 2, if given the proper time and non-bullshit booking, let these 2 go out there and have a great wrestling match. These 2 can definitely steal a show and put on a match to your contender. So definitely excited for Ricochet and Aleister Black, Ricochet and AJ Styles to tear the house down for the United States Championship. Samoa Joe challenging Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. This is nothing more than a filler title defense for Kofi Kingston. Don't really care for it. It is what it is. Then, of course, we're having a mixed tag team Extreme Rules winner takes all match for the Raw and Universal Championship. Well, Raw Women's Championship and Universal Championship. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins taking on Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. We've seen this match several times. Of course, not the tag team match itself, but whether it's Baron Corbin and Seth Rollins or Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans, we've seen this match several fucking times. It's actually happened at like the last 3 pay-per-views. I don't care to see this match. Get this feud over with and move on. That's all I'm asking for at this point. I don't want to see it. Just move on from it. Have someone else challenge the titles. That's all. The whole Extreme Rules mixed tag stipulation, I don't really care for it. Hopefully it's an entertaining match because I don't think it'll be a good match, but all I can ask for is entertaining. So, yeah, pointless match if you ask me. And then, of course, we have Roman Reigns teaming up with The Undertaker to take on Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre in a no-holds-barred match. I just want this match to end the Shane McMahon-Roman Reigns feud. That's all I'm asking for. I don't want to see Roman and Shane at SummerSlam. I want them to end their feud here. Why Undertaker's teaming with Roman Reigns, I have no idea. They never even answered that question. And I don't know, this is just a random big line headlining match. I think they just wanted a big match, you know, for ticket sales, and that's probably why they did it, to be perfectly honest. But Roman Reigns, Undertaker, Drew McIntyre, Shane McMahon, no holds barred. I think it'll be fun for what it is. I'm not expecting too much out of it, but I think it'll be a fun little match. But it's WWE, so it's not really known how it's going to go about. And that's the Extreme Rules card. I thought we would see any more time. Let's go ahead and jump right into my predictions. WWE Cruiserweight Championship Match, WWE Cruiserweight Champion Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese. I think this is a successful title defense for Drew Gulak. I don't see why they put the title on him just to lose it that quickly. They don't usually ever flip, play hot potato with the Cruiserweight Championship, so I don't see any reason for it to change here. But these two should go out there and tear the house down, have a great wrestling match. I'm really looking forward to this one on the show. But can result, I do expect Drew Gulak to defeat Tony Nese to retain the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Last man standing match, Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman. I don't see his result being any different than any of their other matches, so I'm going to go ahead and say Braun Strowman is the last man standing, especially considering the whole injury angle they just did with Braun Strowman. They made it seem like Bobby Lashley is fine, while Braun Strowman isn't, so I think it's a very easy victory for Braun Strowman. Hopefully it's a big brawl. If it is, I think it'll be great, but yeah, I do think at the end of it, Braun Strowman will be the last man standing. Triple threat match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. SmackDown Tag Team Champions Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus The New Day versus Heavy Machinery. I think Bryan and Rowan walk out still SmackDown Tag Team Champions here. I don't see them losing the tag team titles. There's no reason for New Day to win it for the 19,000th time. Heavy Machinery, I think their time will come one day, but I don't think it'll be happening now. But this should be a fun tag team match here. I think all 3 teams can definitely bring in and have a great, triple threat match. But like I said, at the end of the match, I do think Daniel Bryan and Rowan will walk out still the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Aleister Black versus Cesaro. I think it's an easy victory for Aleister Black. I don't think Cesaro has a chance in hell winning this match. This match is, purely to showcase Aleister Black and build him up for something, obviously. So, hopefully it's an actual match. I don't think, this should be a squash. I don't think it should go that way. I think it should be an actual wrestling match. And it could be great if it actually is. But, yeah, this is the match I'm looking forward to the absolute most. And, like I said, I do think this is an easy victory for Aleister Black. United States Championship match, United States Champion Ricochet versus AJ Styles. I know Ricochet just won the championship back at Stomping Grounds, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say AJ Styles becomes the brand new United States Champion. I do think it's very possible they do a chase with Ricochet. They have Ricochet chase, AJ Styles to SummerSlam where he wins the championship back right there. Especially with AJ Styles turning heel, you need to, do something to make it an impact. And I think him winning the US Championship with the club is definitely the best thing to go for right now. But it wouldn't surprise Ricochet retains. This is going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to it highly. But you know what? Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and say AJ Styles becomes a brand new United States Champion. Raw Tag Team Championship match, Raw Tag Team Champions, The Revival versus the Usos. I'm going to go ahead and say The Revival win the tag team titles here. The only way I see the Usos winning it is if they were to lose them to Gallows and Anderson down the line. But besides that, I don't see what reason the Usos have to win the Raw Tag Team titles here, and especially the storyline with Shane. I think The Revival walk out still Raw Tag Team Champions. Hopefully it's a good match, should be great. Like I said, The Revival to walk out still the Raw Tag Team Champions. 2-on-1 handicap match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Considering Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are on SmackDown Live, I see no reason for them to win the championship here, so I do think Bayley walks out still the SmackDown Women's Champion. I think maybe this is where Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross implode, even though I do think they should be the future Women's Tag Team Champions down the line. But hopefully it's a good match. I'm not really too sure how it's going to go, but like I said, I do think Bayley walks out still the SmackDown Women's Champion. WWE Championship Match, WWE Champion Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. At this point, you know, I think Kofi Kingston's going to retain, obviously. I think it's a filler match for him, but it's like, how many losses does Samoa Joe need to take? This guy has lost several times. He's lost every big match he's ever been in, almost. It's just to the point where it's like, Samoa Joe definitely should win this match, and I'm really hoping he does, but I do think Kofi Kingston walks out WWE Champion. So like I said, this is more of a filler title defense for Kofi, if anything, and it really doesn't mean anything. It's not really that big, so would love to see Samoa Joe win. Really hoping he does, but like I said, I do think Kofi Kingston walks out still the WWE Champion. Winners take all Mixed Tag Team Extreme Rules match for the Raw Women's Championship and Universal Championship. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Universal Champion Seth Rollins versus Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. I think this is a very easy, successful title defense for Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. I think if they're planning on putting the titles on Corbin and Lacey, they would have done it in one of the past, you know, few pay-per-views they've had title matches for. But hopefully this match is alright, you know, considering these two teams, I guess, really don't have that great chemistry with one another. I don't see this being that good of a match, or maybe it'll surprise us all. But like I said, I do think Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins still walk out of this match with their championships. And then the main event, no holds barred match. The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. I'm praying this is the end of the feud for Roman Reigns and Shane McMahon. And with that being said, I do think Roman Reigns should pin Shane McMahon here to end their feud. I don't see any reason to continue it. This match is basically just happening just to happen, I guess. There's really no reason for it. Hopefully it's fun. I don't know. I don't really expect anything good from it, but hopefully it can be entertaining for the most part. But yeah, all I'm praying for the outcome is for the Shane and Roman feud to end. I don't want to see a SummerSlam. I just want it to end here, and hopefully that's how it is. And this match ends with Roman Reigns and The Undertaker victorious over Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. And ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys joined my WWE Extreme Rules 2019 pay-per-view predictions. Like I said, Extreme Rules is live on the WWE Network as well as pay-per-view tomorrow night. I'm not really too excited for it, like I said, but I do have interest in the show. There are some matches I do want to check out, so they did succeed in that aspect. But besides that, I'm just ready for this show to be over with, because I feel like, you know, they're just waiting for after Extreme Rules to kind of have a restart, a refresh going to SummerSlam, so that's what I'm hoping for. But Extreme Rules, I do think will be a good show for what it is, maybe even great, who knows. But, you know, like I said, I do have interest for it. I just don't really care for it because of the inconsistent booking from WWE. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please feel free to leave a like below. And of course, on my review tomorrow night, I'll see you guys, and thank you guys for watching the video.
I just want time in a tree.